Darth Vader's coochie stay.
Start your sublight engines. It's time for RuPaul's Pod Race, a queer Star Wars podcast. Welcome back to another week of chaos for the Obi-Wan Kenobi finale. This week, Noah once again, and also Ollie this time, have been summoned for questioning by the Inquisitors, but they'll be back next week when we do our full Kenobi series wrap-up. My name is Jess. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on social media at Kawaii Jessio. That's Kawaii Jessio. And my gender this week is just hello there.
So true.
And true words have never been spoken.
Spoilers from now on, like everybody stop, whatever, but when he said that, I was like, I am the fan being serviced. And
the fact that on Twitter it was like trending for a bit of like people being like, he said the line.
He said it.
Hello, I am Mel. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on social media at Melvin Culpa and on TikTok at Grunkle Rex. Sorry, I forgot about halfway through what my social medias were, so slay. And my gender this week is the Book of Reva.
So true.
Oh, I'd be so down for that.
The halfway through, they can't have two episodes about Mando.
There are 2 episodes that are going to be about Quinlan Vos. He just shows up and they're like, hey guys.
People have been proposing, like, what if they had a show that was just like Quinlan Vos going around helping people on the path with his like lesbian daughter Reva, and I'm like, that's so slay.
By people, do you mean our bestie Sage?
Oh, it was Sage. Oh my god, shout out to Sage from Welcome Transitions.
I also like the idea. I like the idea of this squad being Reva, Quinlan Vos, and then from that trailer of the Bad Batch season 2, this will be the last time I ever mention the Bad Batch. By the way, Gunji. Apparently he's fine too. So
yeah,
that's 3 of them.
So good.
That's a squad.
I do like the fact that Gunji, since he is a Wookiee, he ages slower than them. So it would still just be child Gunji with these 2 adults.
I love that. That's a slay group.
And I think he's far more slay than Grogu. I'll say it. I think he would be. I want all the merch to be about him.
Where's Gunji capitalism?
So true.
I mean, it's just like Chewbacca capitalism, which is what existed before Grogu.
Exactly. It's just Chewbacca capitalism, but cuter. Like, it's just smaller.
I mean, that's what Grogu capitalism, just of Yoda. It's just smaller.
Oh my god. I can't wait for 3PO cap. Well, I mean, that's BB-8. Holy shit. Holy shit.
We've unlocked the code.
We figured out the code. Okay, one second. I'm trying to think of an obscure character that I can blank capitalism.
Bell Zettifar capitalism.
What is Bell Zettifar capitalism happening quickly?
Yeah, so true. I'd buy into Bell Zettifar capitalism.
Yeah.
Karl Marx, I'm so sorry, but I'm
Marx.
buying into Bell Zettifar capitalism.
Frederick Engels, sorry. I don't know you. I don't know her. I know Bell Zettifar. She's my best friend. I just misgendered Bell. What the fuck? So sorry, Bell.
Hi, I'm Klaudia. You can find me on social media at Klaudia Says, Kaludia Says. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the only cis host on the podcast today, and also the only white one.
Revenge of the cis. We did it! Yeah!
My gender this week is Obi-Wan. Where have you been, Loka?
No, not again. I feel like we made some kind of joke, but like with a different character.
I think it was Din. Where the hell have you been, Loka?
Yeah, there we go.
This time, like that was the vibes that Qui-Gon gave off was literally just him being like, "Hey, where you been? Hey!" Like he was so chill. He was almost like too chill.
Actually, Obi-Wan. It felt more like Obi-Wan also was like, Master Qui-Gon, where have you been, Loka?
Master Qui-Gon, and I love how Qui-Gon was just like, bitch, I've been here the whole time. Why are you taking so fucking long? Come on. I know you were like going through something, but like chop. I am bored in the afterlife.
I like the idea of him being like, you nicknamed yourself after the weird summer you had with Satine?
He's like, you're not. He's like, I know that I'm dead, but I'm watching you, bitch.
Instead of leave room for Jesus, it's leave room for Qui-Gon.
So true.
So we're going to try and talk about just the finale today so we don't like go too crazy with it. But what do we want to start with? Because there was so much in this.
I feel like I kind of want to start with just like my one big critique of the episode, which isn't really even like a critique. It's just, well, It is a critique, but it's not of the actual like content of the episode itself. It's just that this shit was dark as fuck.
No, the Game of Thronesification. Like, I'm like, you spent all that money with the volume, and I gotta hear about the volume all the time, and I'm like, I can't see shit. Like, it was just like the reflection of their lightsabers on their faces, and that was it. And I was like, I get some of it was the effect, but like, it didn't matter what planet they were on, what ship they were on. It's dark as fuck. I'm like,
the only time it wasn't dark as fuck is when they were like on Tatooine during the day or on that one planet outside.
No, literally.
What was the reason? Like, it's where, I mean, so like later in the episode, obviously they have like the parallels to Twilight of the Apprentice, but I'm like, in Twilight of the Apprentice and like in animation, you have to think deliberately about lighting just like you have to do in live action. But like in Twilight of the Apprentice, Malachor is a dark place, and they have the pyramid thing that it has all the light coming off of it or whatever, but like you can still see clearly whatever the fuck is going on.
I'm just imagining Twilight of the Apprentice in the complete fucking dark. Which in a lot of ways, unfortunately, I do fear that is Kanan Jarrus's perspective.
I was just gonna say.
Twilight. Twilight.
Well, technically that's his perspective, like near the later half of the episode.
Yeah, when Ahsoka is fighting Vader and he's like back in the ship with Ezra and he's like just hearing it, like the audio description.
He's just like, Ezra, what's happening?
He's hearing it like an audiobook, like the rest of us.
Oh my god. Marc Thompson is telling him what is happening.
No, not Marc Thompson narrating the Ahsoka Vader fight for Kanan.
I want to know Marc Thompson's Ahsoka voice.
I don't. I really don't. That's so troubling to me. Because you know what? Here's the thing. Ahsoka is so lucky. She has a canon voice that he'd have to try to sound like. Because otherwise he'd be doing some Indira Stokes bullshit where it's like, bitch, what is happening on this day? What is this accent? Quickly.
I feel like we're starting with our critiques of the episode because most of the rest of it was like, no notes. I loved it.
It was very good again. This whole series has been very good.
Yeah, I mean, I cried the entire episode. Like, about 5 minutes in, I just started crying and didn't stop. My only critique, other than, boy, can I not see shit, was it is a little disappointing that there's not even acknowledgement of Ahsoka. Like, I loved, we talked about this in an earlier episode, I love that we acknowledged Padme was somebody that not only he lost and loved, but also that he feels the same amount of guilt about as Anakin, to the point where he mentions it. It's a through line. He mentions it all the way to the end with Leia. I loved how we acknowledged Padme even though she wasn't there. We saw a clone, which was not enough. Like, I feel like he would have guilt for the clones as well. Like, he watched the clones killing people just like he did with Anakin. Like, and correct me if, I mean, in the Fives arc, he knows about the chips. He obviously doesn't know all the information about the chips, but because of the Fives arc, he does know some stuff. Like, I feel like he would also, those would also be people he felt like he let down. And I feel like that was very left out. Obviously, we had a limited amount of time, so I'm not going to, like, hold it, whatever. But, like, the connection with Ahsoka and the connection with that's, like, my only thing where I'm like, okay. And I get that those are Dave's little guys and whatever, but, like, we referenced other things that, so I don't know, that made me feel a little sad.
Yeah, and I think this is my one thing about Reva that I think is the solution to that, is that in a lot of ways, narratively, Reva's quote-unquote purpose, because a lot of people are like, why was Reva, like, finding things to bitch about? It's because she is a perfect person to have put into this narrative of, like, she's dealing with her own shit and we get to see her dealing with her own shit, but also specifically, like, the shit that she is dealing with is because of Obi-Wan's actions, and Obi-Wan doesn't have to blame himself. Obi-Wan can, like, move on from all of this guilt and other shit that's happening with him. Reva, as a character, like, in a more thematic sense, was there to be there for everyone who couldn't be mentioned, like the clones, like Ahsoka, of, like, this is someone you have failed, but, like, you need to move on from that because they are moving on from that.
I mean, I think that's a strength overall. I think in this finale, which was genuinely a good finale to a show.
Absolutely.
Or a season if it were to continue, whatever. I think like overall, when there wasn't a direct reference or a parallel, there was a thematic one, and that was why I was like, Deborah Cho, you're the only bitch I respect in this house every single time, because it was like, okay, we didn't mention Ahsoka, but like I can see parallels to Maul, Ventress, and Ahsoka in whether they are visual, whether they are thematic, whether they are personal character, whatever, in all these people. That was like, wow, okay, like I'm getting all my food. So
absolutely. The way that I was so afraid that when Reva showed up, first of all, someone mentioned on Twitter when she comes over and she's carrying fucking Luke, like that the parallel to
Anakin, right? Yeah, I saw that
with Shmi. I think that was very slay, and it was like, Anakin Skywalker, fuck you. I get that was your mom and you were going through some shit, but fuck you, because other bitches were not doing the same. They were not doing that because they're seeking help anyways.
Somebody described that thing of like, that's her whole thing, is that like, and this is why this episode was very slay, because there's 2 points in there where they make it so clear. Anakin chose. He had everything going for him, and he chose to be a piece of shit, and he says it on screen. He's like, you didn't do this to me, I did this to me. So shout out to all the Jedi haters. You're wrong. But like he does it, and then, which is a parallel to Ventress saying like, you can always choose to be better, etc., etc. Reva is like, no, I'm gonna choose to be better. And then they have Obi-Wan like say it. He says this like beautiful line to her and whatever. And like thematically I felt like it was really important to show like, no, he chose that, and we're gonna show somebody else not choosing it to make it motherfucking clear. Like, I thought it, and so when people are like, oh yeah, why was Reva here? And I'm like, she was important to both their stories, I think. And I think they were important to hers as well. But like, she's important to be there for that, for a number of reasons.
The interaction that her and Obi-Wan have there at the end, where she's like on the ground, first of all, made fucking twin sons all the better, because she drops to the ground and I was like, oh, Darth Maul cannot do the same. Maul cannot say the same. The girlies, one of us is walking out, and it is Reva.
Now that makes me sad, because then I'm thinking like, if Maul had chosen to let go, would Obi-Wan have forgiven him too?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's what they imply in Twin Son. Like he already has. Like
Obi-Wan's like, bro, I let this shit go a long time ago. I don't know why you're still hanging on to it, Maul. Now go get buried in my boyfriend graveyard.
I've got the perfect place for you to go after this.
I mean, and this was another thing of like, Deborah Cho really said, go watch Rebels, bitch. I'm no longer asking. Between the Twilight of the Apprentice thing and this, it was very much like, and now like what Twin Sons has always been my favorite moment in all of Star Wars, and now going to watch that is gonna mean more to me, because they're like, there's been another moment of someone coming, endangering Luke, endangering somebody, whatever, and you know, that time he offered him something. And I think if you haven't already, you should go watch when Sam Witwer like picks apart that scene with Maul and whatever. And the interesting part is that like Obi-Wan at that point, he's like, he knows what's gonna happen, kind of like how when he sees Vader for the last time in A New Hope, he knows what's gonna happen, whatever, and he's kind of like giving Maul a last chance, and Maul's like, nah, he's not fucking getting it, that this is it for him. And it just has more meaning now because of this scene with Reva, and I feel like there was a lot of stuff in this finale that like, wow, it gave so many other things so much more meaning, and like, that's what a prequel's for.
So true, Klaudia, because I am thinking about in this episode when Obi-Wan called Vader Darth for the first time. Because I was like, okay, because first of all, yeah, it's hilarious. I was like, slay. But also it is making me realize he's like, fuck you. You are not my little bestie who fucked up so hard. He is like dealing with some other shit. You're just fucking Darth. I know the historical significance of the word Darth. I'm not gonna respect it. You are just Darth. last name Vader.
He's
Fuck
such
you.
a bitch. I love it.
I love that too because it is also, Easter egg for and referencing A New Hope. So all those people who are like, oh, why is he just calling him Darth? Doesn't Obi-Wan or like, don't they know about how Darth is not like the actual person's name? That's just their title. Just like, you're a fake Star Wars fan because Obi-Wan does call him Darth also in A New Hope when they have their little like last fight. So yeah, fake Star Wars fans.
I also like, I guess it's the equivalent of being like, okay, sir. Like, to somebody, like, that's the only thing I can think of. And it was, I don't know. I was like, I was crying and sobbing during that scene. And then he goes, okay, Darth. And I'm like, I remember tweeting something being like, oh, I'm really scared. I'm not going to see Obi-Wan being like sassy and fun and wild. And then there he is. That's how I knew he was back.
Another parallel, because we were talking about Rebels parallels with this like twin son parallel, but another parallel is with like during the Vader and an Obi-Wan fight, the parallel of Obi-Wan hitting Vader's mask, and you see, what was it, the right side of his face, whereas like with Ahsoka you see the left side of his face, and it just being like they only saw like we're able to see half or part of him, whereas Luke in Return of the Jedi was able to finally like see like his full face, and that made me very sad and emotional because I was like, oh, so true.
Yeah, when somebody pointed that out, I was like, oh, I fear I will not recover from this. And somebody else pointed out, shout out to all the people on Tumblr who have brains that are so big. Somebody else pointed out how, like, when Anakin or when Vader says, like, I did this to myself because of it's his self-hatred that is the whole point. And it's not Obi-Wan or whatever. That's why all these other people who loved him, first Padme, then Obi-Wan, then Ahsoka, try to reach him and they cannot reach him. It has to be someone who doesn't know him, who loves him almost unconditionally, where that it can like turn him back. And I'm like, damn, okay, because of the self-hatred is so bad. And I'm like, oh boy, I made myself sad. This is my whole thing, because I'm like, I don't stand Anakin. I hate that bitch. And I, like, literally, there's how there's that common thing in Star Wars where somebody, like, or a person on the light side, they go a little too far, and then they're like, oh no, I went a little too far. And I thought they were going to do that with Obi-Wan when he starts, like, lifting rocks and shit, whatever. And
Elzar man.
Yeah.
Like, I can't with that.
Or, like, when Ezra starts, like, just chucking stormtroopers off the side or whatever. But, like, I mean, they had Obi-Wan do his little lifting rocks moment. Shout out to the sequels. And he'd do his little lifting rocks moment and just absolutely just wail on that guy, on Vader. And they don't really have a moment of like, oh, I went too far or whatever. And I was like, that's so slay, because yeah, he should die. He's a fascist bitch. Like, yeah, obviously. But like, obviously he's not gonna be the one to kill him, because he's like, I can't I can't do it. It was very awesome, very slay that they were like, yeah, we're gonna let Obi-Wan be powerful, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was like, thank you.
One, you pointing out like, yeah, me self-hatred moment for Vader Anakin, and just like, god damn it, not me relating to Vader Anakin again. The parallels between me and Vader are blurring. I hate it here. But no, also the lighting situation, like there on Anakin's like face, or when he's like, there's some doubt with him and you see like the blue lighting from Obi-Wan's lightsaber on him, versus when he fully is just like, no, I'm not your failure. I'm the one who did this to myself and I'm gonna kill you, and him like fully like embracing that. He's just like, no, this is what I am. And the red lighting on his face again is just like, I love a good lighting moment.
Some people also notice that his eyes, they briefly become normal. They're not yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that happens in Twilight of the Apprentice. Well, and the same thing happens in Twilight of the Apprentice, where the lighting in the like pyramid that's blowing up is kind of, it's like purple and it's flashing between blue and red. And on his helmet is both blue and red at the same time in that moment. And it's very similar. Also, shout out to Hayden Christensen, who just said in an interview that he watched Twilight of the Apprentice several times to prepare for that scene. Sir, I've never respected a bitch more.
I also love the mix of Hayden and like James Earl Jones's like voices like during that whole like sequence. It's just like, oh god, this is really good. This is really cool.
The way it kept switching back and forth, I feel like it also made like not just the suit, but like what's fucking wrong. Like it made it more real that is something that he's breathing out of. It made, I don't know, it felt very grounded and it felt very real. And then it kept like switching back and forth, like the electronics were off, but it was like, it's both Anakin and Vader talking at the same, because this is the moment where you realize that they are the same people. I was like, Deborah Cho, your mind is so big. Like
during that fight in the beginning, when Obi-Wan again is just like, I will do what I must. And instead of Anakin Vader being like, you will try, which is what he says in, Revenge of the Sith, this time he's like, you will die.
Which is a Twilight of the Apprentice reference. It starts with a Revenge of the Sith reference, and then it ends with a Twilight of the Apprentice reference. And I was like, because in Twilight of the Apprentice, for those who don't know already, she says, I'm not leaving you again. And he's like, then you'll die. But then Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith says, I will do what I must. And he says, you will try, whatever. And I'm like, they melded those two. I was like, that's as close to an Ahsoka reference as we got, which I was like, okay, fine. All right. And I'm like, when they did the I will do what I must, whatever, I was like, yeah, is this fan service? True. But I am the fan being serviced. So
yes,
once again,
true.
I'm okay with that.
This is completely unrelated, but it's a different quote-unquote fight that happened in this episode. I want to talk about Beru, Owen, and Reva's little moment. And specifically, actually, a moment when they're not fighting, but Reva is just fucking Comac Vitusing out in the fucking... in the hills with Luke. I did quite enjoy that part. Also, the fact I was really banking on a Tusken showing up and being like, hey, what's going on?
I know, I thought that was gonna happen too, like some Tuskens being like, hey besties, I'll save you, just like how we saved Boba Fett.
Hey, that bitch has a red lightsaber. Remember when that guy with the blue lightsaber really fucked up our shit?
But like I that was another cool New Hope connection, because like that's at the beginning of A New Hope. He goes into that canyon or whatever, and that's how he sees Ben Kenobi again, and he falls and is like he has passed out because he's just a small little gay boy, and that's exactly what happens to him here. And this is also the moment where we see her turn towards the light, and it's supposed to be a parallel, like, because that's when we meet Obi-Wan for the first time, and he like comes in and saves Luke, and then like this is when she turns towards the light and she saves Luke in the same way, and you're like, oh wow, it's like poetry, it rhymes. Again, Deborah Cho, your mind is so big. Like,
also, my question for that whole situation, I want to get into more of the Owen and Beru fight moment. However, I just want to ask a question to the crowd. Luke, do you not remember being chased by a woman with a red sword who was gonna beat the shit out of you?
Maybe, that was very traumatic for him, so he was just like, wipe that from my mind. No more thing about that.
I also like the idea of him being like, damn, that was a crazy ass dream.
Well, no, she didn't have her red sword out when she was chasing him. She was just some like woman in a cloak chasing him.
Woman is chasing me for some reason, guys. I don't know why.
He's like, there's this woman chasing him, and then he falls, and then she pulls it out when he's unconscious, so he doesn't know.
Okay.
But also,
oh my god, why did I think about The Last Jedi and Luke pulling out his lightsaber while Ben Solo is sleeping? I don't know.
Oh my god! Wait, no, shut up! You were so right for that. You're so right for that. He's like, hey, I remember when this lady like pulled out her lightsaber and was really gonna get my ass. I was like kind of awake. I just was playing, like I was taking a little nap.
But I didn't have a cool lightsaber to fight that.
Yeah.
Reva's the domino. Reva's the domino effect that creates Kylo Ren.
No.
No, girly, no.
But Beru and Owen,
Beru with the Glock.
Beru with a Glock, truly.
Listen, I said I wanted her to enter her John Brown era, and she really did. She leaned into the militancy.
And I mean, they didn't deliberately connect it to Queen's Hope, but like thematically they did, because it was like Owen was like, "What are you doing?" Whatever, and she's like, "Let's go," whatever. Which is spoilers for Queen's Hope. She works with Sabe to help like free slaves for a while. Her and Owen, whatever. And in this, she was like, "And I'm ready. I'm ready to go." You know what? That's why Luke is so sly, because his aunt is super sly.
Beru and Owen are good parents / caretakers for Luke. So all you people who in episode 1 were coming for Uncle Owen and being like, Uncle Owen is abusive. No, he isn't. Look at him. He was willing to lay down his life for little Luke, for this little gay boy.
He's also a wife guy. Like, he was really like, "Are you whatever?" And she's like, "Let's go." And he's like, "Okay."
So true.
All right.
Also followed by, this is unrelated, but kind of related. I was so sure that Reva was gonna bury her lightsaber there in the sand. And I was like, I am imagining the end of Rise of Skywalker. Rey puts the fucking lightsabers away, and she's like walking away, and she tripped, and she's like, what the fuck was that?
Technically buried? Or
the end of the...
They kind of gotten just eaten. But she, like, the end of Rise of Skywalker, she's walking away. Luke and Leia as Force Ghosts are like, "Hey, girl queen," and she's walking away and she trips and she's like, "What the fuck was that?" And she opens up and it's like, "Oh Jesus Christ, that's a red lightsaber! What the fuck?"
No, the end of Rise of Skywalker, and this is like every like Phantom Menace fanboy's nightmare is she says, "I'm Rey Skywalker," then she trips over the new thing, she pulls out the thing, and then she flies away with the helicopter lightsaber.
So true. She flies away into the night.
Yeah, when that freaking was an old lady person shows up and it's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And it's the old lady being like, "All you motherfuckers gotta stop burying your freaking laser swords here. What's going on?"
Yeah, you guys are not burying them deep enough. Like, they were just like above ground.
I did think that she was gonna purify her kyber crystal in that moment, which would have been very slay, because it would have been another parallel to Ahsoka. Like, it would have been quite cool, but she was just like, "So anyway, bye." Also, we did not get to see any helicopter lightsabers in this, and I was so upset.
Tragedy is struck at the function.
Speaking of helicopter sabers, this has nothing to do with helicopter sabers, but it made me start thinking about Quizzy, because you know when they're chasing after like the ship in the beginning, and Quizzy's just like, because you know Obi-Wan's little pod like leaves, and then Vader's like, "Okay, we have to go after Obi-Wan," and Quizzy's just like, "Bro, but what about the rest of them? What do you mean?" He's like, "That's just one Obi-Wan over there. The rest of these people are still like gonna cause problems for us." And Vader's just like, "No." And Quizzy's standing there like, "Oh my god, I'm not being paid enough for this shit."
Meanwhile, fucking 5 years later, he's like, "I'm gonna chase down this man and this little child at any cost, even my own fucking life."
No, but that's what's funny though, is that like at the end of the day, he gets punished by Vader for fucking up, but like he's like, "But I remember when I wanted to stop this in its tracks, and you wouldn't fucking let me." So you know what? I am on Quizzy's side in that way, because his manager, his boss, is a hypocrite.
Yeah, Quizzy's just like, "I was just doing the same thing you did all those years ago, huh? Do you remember that? Remember?" And Vader's just like, "You know what? Time for you to get turned into an alarm system."
A High Republic temple alarm system.
Darth Vader does not believe in the death penalty. He said, "I'm just giving you
I'm gonna keep
life
you
sentence."
Life sentence.
But wait, speaking of like that beginning of the episode, we have Obi-Wan being very slay, being like, "Hey, I gotta save everybody, like whatever," and then being like, "Bestie, we're all in this together." I would like to talk about Roken for a second. He's not even that big of a character, but he is so slay. Like, I hope I get to see this man in Andor. I hope I get to see this man in something, because he's such an icon.
Roken and Jedi Survivor. Let's go.
So true.
Yeah.
Roken and Reva. Let's go. The 2 R's.
I want Roken to be the new Saw Gerrera, where they're like, "Okay, we're just gonna throw this bitch into a project. Let's go."
Yeah. I want him to be friends with Hera Syndulla.
Yeah, I also want him to know Saw Gerrera. I want him to be like, "Oh my god, Saw, hey.
Should they kiss on the mouth? Discuss.
Saw Gerrera and Roken?"
Yeah, why not?
Jin's like, I had a stepdad for a bit. His name was Rogan. Sawkin. Raw.
He enters into the polycule with Rex and Saw.
So true. Also, this is completely unrelated. But I have become obsessed with O'Shea Jackson because of Roken.
His Twitter account is so
Twitter
good.
Account so good. Also followed by, I can't stop saying Slay Jackson. So I just feel like that's Slay Jackson.
Slay Jackson.
Oh my god.
He has been just bullying the bitches back on Twitter, and it's so good. He's like, they're like, oh, you suck, whatever, and he's like, that's not what my bank account says, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, one of us got paid to do something, and it's not you, so maybe you should cry about it. His story, Roken and Reva's story, both were left so like open and ambiguous, and I'm curious what they're going to do with that. The idea of Reva showing up in fucking Mando is so fucking funny to me.
That would be
like 30?
I mean, she wouldn't be that old. Cause she's only like
19 right now, so
yeah.
That's 5 more years. That's like
she's only a bit younger than Ahsoka.
24 plus. Yeah, she'd be like fucking 34. She's like, hey guys, it's me.
What if she's at Luke's temple? See,
no.
If she was at Luke's temple, she never would have let Ben. She never would have let Ben slide.
No. He'd be like, I've been hanging out with the Knights of Ren lately, and she's like, oh, that's crazy. Maybe you shouldn't do that. That's like super stupid. Stay away from a Maxine station right now.
He's like, my grandfather, and she's like, your grandfather was a punk ass bitch.
He smelled. His coochie stank. Don't do that shit.
Also, from the beginning of the episode, Leia and Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan's just like, yeah, I gotta go, bestie. But like, you know, the rest of them will get you back to Alderaan safe. And she's just like, what the fuck? I thought we were all in this together. But then, you know, him being like, telling her that he was also a little scared. And then, like, maybe like Lola would help him too, and the fact that she does like give him Lola, and so when he goes to fight Vader, you see him first when he lands the ship with the little Lola. It's just like, yep, me and the little droid that my niece gave me.
I fear I am a victim of Lola capitalism, because there's that one shot of him like smiling and looking at it, whatever, and I was like, oh no, I'm feeling an emotion.
From a certain point of view, Lola is a hidden Mickey.
No, literally.
Oh my god.
You're so correct.
That was a joke I stole from Ollie.
Oh, Ollie. I hope they're like not telling the Inquisitors anything.
They're not a snitch.
They're telling Reva about the hidden Mickey.
Reva, the hidden Mickey behind you.
Reva's like, I reprogrammed the hidden Mickey. The reprogrammed hidden Mickey is a Mickey from Kingdom Hearts.
No, god damn it. But anyway, also Obi-Wan giving Leia Tala's little holster.
I was just thinking about like her outfit. Like she has a couple outfits. Like she has like outfit in the comics, whatever, where she has a holster, whatever. And I was like, are you telling me that that's the one that she had? Because I'm gonna be really sad. Well, and also somebody pointed out that the blaster pistol that she uses, I don't know if it's the same one that she's always had, or if this is just like her preferred brand or whatever. It has like a model name, but like the nickname that it has been given is Satine's Lament. It's the one that she uses in A New Hope, and it's also the one that she uses in The Last Jedi to stun Poe Dameron.
Satina's crying, screaming, throwing up that Poe Dameron's having a bitch fit.
But yeah, I just think it's really cool that she gets this holster that she ends up wearing from Tatla that's given to her by Obi-Wan, and then she has a blaster called Satine's Lament. Anyway, I just made myself upset. Oh no. At the end when they have Leia like putting on her little outfit and then being Slay with her little gloves and everything, I was like, if I was a little girl watching this and they didn't give me that outfit for my American Girl doll, I would have been screaming, crying, and like ripping at the walls. Like, I'm like, you don't tell me that they showed every piece of that so they could sell it to little girls? Please.
I hope to see all the little girls dressed as Leia.
So true. Also, This entire like series, but specifically this episode, just made me like recontextualize in A New Hope when Luke is like, I'm here with Ben Kenobi. We're here to save you. And she's like, bitch, I am running. I don't give a fuck about you, Twink. Move, bitch. I'm here to go see my best friend. What?
I saw something really sad that was like, so the moment in the fight with Vader when he's like, all hope is lost, he's under the rocks, and then
he thinks of Luke and Leia, and that's what like brings him back.
Yeah, so what he thinks of his love. This is the power of uncles compels you, basically. He basically he thinks of his love for them, and that's what what reminds him of his power in the light and whatever. But then if you parallel that to A New Hope, he finally sees them. He sees them like, from afar. Like, and that's why he's like, okay, now I can go. And I'm like, oh shit, okay.
He's like, they're finally meeting and reunited.
Yeah, I mean, you should have maybe told them that they were brother and sister. Like, maybe that would have been helpful.
Listen, he had a to-do list in his robe, but they didn't get to see because the Death Star blew up and his robe was left on the Death Star. But on the to-do list was like, teach Luke how to be a Jedi, I guess. If they ever meet, they are siblings. Get a really good slushie from 7-Eleven next time I'm in town.
He likes bubble tea.
Oh, so true.
What do you think his bubble tea order is?
As the resident, boba barista, I think Obi-Wan would go for like a good jasmine milk tea.
Speaking of Leia, I do want to shout out John Williams wrote the new Obi-Wan theme, but Natalie Holt, who did the score for the Loki series, also did the score for the Obi-Wan series, and she's been slaying the whole time. And she saved some of those classic themes for maximum emotional damage. When they're on Alderaan and she pulled out Leia's theme, then right after that the Force theme, I was like, ma'am, you have just taken a knife and stabbed me several times.
Speaking of Leia and those last moments of Obi-Wan and her hanging out before he says goodbye to her, and him telling her about, he's like, yeah, I lied to you, I did know your parents, bestie, I'm sorry. And him telling her how she was like Padme and how she was like Anakin, but being like, I can't really tell you more than that. I can't tell you who your parents actually are. And her being like, nah, it's okay. And looking at Bail and Brea, because she's, just saying these are my parents. These are the people who are raising me and love me for who I am. And so even if I never get to find out about my real parents, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay.
I just like how, I mean, this is one of several moments. So he also has that with Owen and Beru, where he's like, you know what, you guys do know the best. And for him or whatever, he has both of those moments. And if one has read Queen's Shadow, for instance, what's cool about that is he says you've gotten all these things from your mother, but Padme was mentored by Bail. At the end of the day, like Thanos, it all comes back to him. No. I love the double meaning there. It's he's like, well, I actually did know your parents. He's like, actually, he has also always been Bail's friend as well. I love the double meaning there, but I also love the fuck you to the Rey Skywalker haters. I love the idea of the acknowledging her birth parents and also loving her adoptive parents. Actually, for both of them, for Luke as well. I was like, oh man, oh Jesus Christ, I'm having a moment. We also got to see Obi-Wan with both polycules, so I was like, kiss Bail on the mouth.
We win. We win.
Owen reluctantly being like, maybe we'll take you back into our polycule.
Literally. That's all I could think about.
I'll have to talk to the wife about this. Goodbye.
No, and he's like, do you want to meet him? And I gotta say, both Moses Ingram and also Ewan McGregor were acting their asses off in this, because the face that he makes when he's like, I finally get to meet Luke or whatever. Oh, I was like, sir, you're doing something here. But also, one of my favorite Luke moments is not on screen. It is the comic issue where he meets the Echo of Elzar Mann. But a big element of Luke Skywalker post the movies, or even during the time of the movies, is that he's very alone. and very alone of like he doesn't have any of the Jedi to help him and whatever, and he has to do a lot alone. So that line where Obi-Wan is like, he should be a kid right now. He'll have plenty of time to whatever. I was kind of screaming at the screen. I was like, no, he won't. He's going to be alone his whole life. And then he's going to blame himself for his mistakes. And then he's going to be alone more. And he's going to be alone. He's going to have nobody to fucking help him except for you and your fucking Force ghosts coming in like maybe never. He's going to be alone. There's not enough time. You stupid raggedy bitch. I got very upset. I was like, okay, maybe I do care a lot about Luke because I was like, no, he's going to be alone all the time. Shut up, bitch.
Because you know what? Loden Greatstorm wouldn't have let this happen.
I mean, Loden Greatstorm did do the same thing to Bell.
Okay. Bell Zettifar wouldn't have let this happen. He would have been like, I will give you some friends, bitch. Anyways, do we have any final thoughts about this episode?
Oh, did we talk about Haja? Because I feel like they left his story open as well.
His story was, I felt like, left open as well. That being said, I think the main thing with Haja this episode was that, like, he was so clearly, like, an echo, I want to call it, something that Obi-Wan carries with him into A New Hope, of, like, Han, of, like, this is some dumb, shitty guy. You have to have faith in him. You gotta have faith in the homies, because they will pull through.
Well, and that's what, like, makes something essentially Star Wars is, like, you have the magic and you have the people, and then you have the people who are, like, kind of a rogue and then choose to do the right thing. Like, he's very much like Han, he's very much like Lando, and in connection to Obi-Wan, he's a lot like Hondo as well. Like, that's what Obi-Wan knew how to handle.
Haja and Hondo parallels?
No, when do I get to see Haja and Hondo hanging out?
Hajdo? That's my new OTP.
No! No, but like I love how Obi-Wan was like completely trusts him, whatever, because he's like, oh yeah, I used to have a friend who was kind of, he's fine.
He was kind of,
kind of.
I mean, obviously he's gay as well, but I did love how Haja was like, well, now I know what it is really like to be a Jedi, and it's hard or whatever, and I was like, oh no, now I'm sad. Shit.
I also love the representation for cosplayers. Haja was just a cosplayer who went from LARPing to, like, real life.
It was so powerful of him, honestly. Yeah, where does he get his lightsabers? Like, does he get it from, shout out to Level Up Lightsabers, I hope he gets it from there.
From Master Allen.
Master Allen is canonically within Star Wars and supplying the cosplay materials to people like Haja.
But as for Cody Watch, Cody wasn't there, but that's okay. That's okay, because the show was still very Yas and Slay. I still just believe that Cody is on vacation. He's safe until otherwise.
Are we gonna see him in the Lego Summer Vacation special? We might.
I hope he's there.
Because we see Obi-Wan in a Hawaiian shirt. Shout out to the trailer for the Lego Summer Vacation. Because people are like, what's your favorite Star Wars trilogy? Mine is the 3 Lego Star Wars specials. The Lego Holiday Special, Terrifying Tales, and now the Summer Vacation. That's the real Star Wars trilogy, culminating in a new Weird Al. That's the other best Star Wars trilogy. The now 3 Weird Al Star Wars parody songs. We're talking about Obi-Wan. Apparently in the trailer they have Obi-Wan in a Hawaiian shirt talking to Finn. And I was like, holy shit. So I think Cody's gonna be there. I think he's gonna be partying on that beach.
Okay, now we had fall, winter, and summer. Can't wait for the Lego Star Wars that will take place during the spring. But
I'm telling you, I am stand strong, my brothers. Lego
for Arbor Day.
For Arbor Day. If you remember a couple episodes back, we did an eBay adventure wherein I brought an Anakin, life-size Anakin statue. And we believe that if we find all 2,000 of these Anakin statues, we can cure COVID-19. We got an update a while back wherein someone talked about the Anakin statue that lived in their local rec center. Since then, we have 2 updates. 2 big Anakin statues were found. One of which by me, it is in Fullerton, California. And the other one, let me make sure I'm saying the right town, is in Dayton, Ohio. So thank you so much to Terrace Hoffman on Instagram for letting us know where an Anakin statue is. Once again, if you have any details as to where Anakin statues are located in this country, if you own an Anakin statue, if you or a loved one own an Anakin statue and would like to let us know, tell us the tale in which you've gotten it, please email us at roophelpspodrace@gmail.com. This is vital information. Once again, we are working with the CDC to end COVID-19. I'm entering my Joe Rogan era. I'm spreading misinformation about COVID.
I think it could cure the monkeypox too. Like,
so
true. It's getting dire. Also, for those who don't know, we will leave a photo on one of the recent listings of what Anakin statue we are talking about in the notes when we've talked about it before. It is young Anakin, the pod racing young Anakin from A Phantom Menace. The recent listing was for $3,000. So if you want to like give us $3,000, we can buy one.
Yeah.
That too.
Here's the thing. I think we'll need a little bit more than $3,000. I want to say $5,000 because first of all, we need for shipping and handling, and then also like emotionally, where are we putting this creature? Like in our homes? Like which one of us is getting it?
I did realize that like young Luke, he is at the age that Anakin is at when he met Obi-Wan for the first time. And so like when we have that when we have that scene, it's supposed to be just like when Anakin and Obi-Wan meet for the first time, and I was like, oh shit, I'm sad. Sorry, I made the Anakin statue segment sad.
Yo, you made the Anakin statue segment sad.
Shit, I hate Star Wars.
Technically, Luke and Leia are 10 and Anakin was 9.
You're done.
So
okay,
true.
CinemaSins.
So true. Read her. Okay, anyways. Welcome to Name That Ship. Name That Ship is a segment we do here on Roop Helps, wherein we have searched the dark corners of AO3 for fan fiction that is sometimes cursed, sometimes it's just high concept and we need to share it with the class. This is no disrespect to the authors who are writing this. You are the backbone of fandom. Once again, we try very hard to bring slay fics only, so like this is no disrespect, this is honoring your hard work. Also followed by, if you find a fan fiction while you are perusing AO3, you can always send it here to Roop Helps. There is a submission link in the show notes. So, without further ado, I'm bringing 2 fics today, and Klaudia is bringing 1. And I'm going to start us off. Are you all ready? This fic is called Amicability. The tags are POV, Character B needs a hug, chance meetings, friends to lovers, fix-it of sorts, angst with a happy ending, angst and hurt/comfort, discussion of brainwashing, mutual pining, Tatooine, Star Wars.
Are one of these characters or both of them force sensitive?
One of them is force sensitive.
So there's just one ship. Are they both men? Are they both women?
They are both men.
Okay.
It's one Obi-Wan Kenobi.
One is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is one a clone?
No.
A bounty hunter?
No.
Owen Lars?
No.
Are they both characters from the, obviously one is Obi-Wan, but from the prequel era?
Yes.
Prequel era. Okay. Is this somebody who has generally been on Tatooine?
No. That is what
Bail Organa.
No, it is not Bail. That is kind of the reason I had to bring this fic, is that I'm like, now how did you get to Tatooine? Quickly.
Hondo?
No, not Hondo.
Is it somebody who knows Obi-Wan?
Yes, someone who has talked to Obi-Wan more than once.
But not a Jedi, not a bounty hunter.
Not a Jedi, not a bounty hunter.
A politician?
Not a politician.
Do we see them in the movies or
yes.
in the Clone Wars?
We see them in the movies.
Is it Dexter Jester?
It is Dexter Jester.
Okay.
And my question is, how did you get to Tatooine, sir?
Okay.
Yeah,
That's so interesting. Maybe what? Obi-Wan was like, hey, Dex, I'm going to Tatooine. You want to come with me?
Well, see, the summary of this fic is Obi-Wan and Dexter. That's what I
can't.
Randomly run into each other on Tatooine. It changes a few things. And then also, I would just like to. Klaudia unfortunately knows because I was talking about it. We had a short break. Jess, I just want a shot in the dark. If you had to guess what person they decided to quote at the beginning of this fic, who do you think it would be?
I don't know a lot of people, Misty.
Just guess any person, Star Wars, non-Star Wars, any person.
No. I'll give you this. It's not a person in Star Wars. It is a real life person.
I'm so scared.
It's a historical figure.
Oh no, that could be anyone.
It's a woman.
Are they? Wait, they're a historical figure?
Yes. And I truly don't understand. Maybe I just need to read the fic to understand the context in which they've decided to use a quote from this person. But it's like so out of left field. I was just trying to like find out more things about this fanfiction. I was like, wait, why is she here?
I'm so scared now.
So it is Helen Keller.
What? What?
I don't know why. I'm like, Helen, like, once again, Helen Keller, slay. But the quote is, I would rather find a friend in the dark than alone in the light. Interesting.
I mean,
okay.
Interesting. In the context of this fic, okay, interesting. In the context of Helen Keller's life, interesting. I don't know why I don't know why you brought these two things together. Anyways, that is the fic I have brought for the first one.
So the one I have brought today, it was submitted to us by user the actual Kate Bishop on TikTok. Shout out to this person.
Our bestie, our mutual.
Yeah, our bestie. So this one, it's the concept. It's the concept here that you guys are going to be like, Anar. So okay. So we'll see if you can guess some of the ships, but the ships are not the biggest part. So the relationships are Obi-Wan Kenobi and clone troopers. So friendships. I'm giving you Obi-Wan because number one, it's on theme, and number two, that's not the crazy part to guess. Obi-Wan Kenobi / character A. Character B / Obi-Wan Kenobi. Character C / Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi / clone trooper characters. Character A and Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker. And characters include Obi-Wan, character B, original clone trooper characters, character A, Anakin Skywalker, character C, another original clone trooper, another original clone trooper, character D, Padme Amidala, Sheev Palpatine. The additional tags are this thing, Jedi AU. And by this thing, I mean another piece of media that it would cross over. Well, not cross over, but be an AU of. This tag I can't give you because you'll guess it. Clone Trooper Angst, Clone Trooper Emancipation, Clone Troopers Centric, Character A, Redemption, Polyamorous Character, Open Marriage, Protective Obi-Wan Kenobi, Flashback Heavy, Obi-Wan Kenobi is not a Jedi, Anakin Skywalker is not a Jedi, Angst and Hurt Comfort, in which Obi-Wan is character from other thing, and he's saving the galaxy one clone at a time. Rating may change, dialogue heavy. It is a part of a series. I don't know if it would be easier for you to guess the thing or guess the characters, because the characters don't really matter as much.
Okay, interesting.
But it's interesting.
So is it a book? Is it a movie?
Is it a TV series?
It is a movie that has been also adapted into something else.
A movie that's been adapted into something else. A TV show?
No.
A podcast?
No.
A podcast?
I don't know. Only murders
Would
in the
it be
building
popular on Tumblr.com?
Like, amongst the culture of people on Tumblr.com, they all quite like this thing.
But
it's not like it's not like one of the big fandoms, but it's all like everybody
Firefly?
likes this thing. No, it's not a franchise, although it did have, I will say this, it did have at least one sequel, and it was adapted into something. Another medium.
A sequel?
Comic?
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Are there actual gay people in it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This changes things. This changes my scope. Okay. Are the gay people main characters? Are any of the gay people characters in this fan fiction?
No. They're the gay characters in that thing are
Is
not.
it Voltron?
No.
Okay, good, because I don't know shit about
It's not
Voltron.
anything that has
Voltron was Was that a movie? Fuck. I'm
No,
sorry.
it was a series. And this fic is this thing AU. So it's not exactly a crossover. So like those characters wouldn't be in it. It's like Obi-Wan.
So, wait, so it's a fic wherein, like, slavery could be something that these characters encounter? They're talking about emancipation. Okay.
Well, it's within the Star Wars universe, but I believe that it's these characters acting like that's the weird thing. It is within the Star Wars universe. If I give you some part of the summary, in which Obi-Wan Kenobi never returns to the Jedi Order after the war on Melodadon, which is from Legends, and instead finds another way to follow the Force's will, namely by fighting sentient rights abuses all over the galaxy and emancipating the Grand Army of the Republic, one clone trooper at a time.
Is it like Law and Order?
You're getting closer.
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
now we're
So it was
talking.
a movie.
Uh-huh.
and
The
it was
Equalizer.
No.
Was it adapted into like a play or like musical?
Yes, it was adapted into a
Death
musical.
Note. Death Note.
Death Note. That would have been funnier, but
Heathers?
oh, you're getting so close.
Mean Girls?
You're getting closer.
Legally Blonde.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, no. The cast of Legally Blonde is passing Obi-Wan Kenobi around like a blunt?
No. It's a Legally Blonde AU. So it's Legally Blonde AU lawyer Obi-Wan. In which Obi-Wan is Elle Woods and he's saving the galaxy one clone at a time.
Who are the ships? I need to know.
The ships are Obi-Wan / Darth Maul, Fox / Obi-Wan, Cody / Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan / other clone trooper characters. I don't really know about the romance part of it. But here's the thing. It's 17 chapters long, and 9 of 17. It's a part of a series. There's only been one fic in the series so far. But yeah, it's please imagine if it was Elle Woods in Star Wars, except for that's Obi-Wan.
That is so slay.
That's really good.
Anyways, I'm literally obsessed with this, and whoever sent this does know that I love Legally Blonde, so
Slay. Okay.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Are we ready for the second one that
Yeah,
I brought?
Yes, I want to hear.
All right, here we go. This is a fic called These Ruined Hands of Mine, They Seek You Out, Always You.
Oh boy.
I know. I was like, this is interesting. Once again, this is for the ship. This is for the pure, like, whoa, out of left field shit. Relationships are character A, character B, character A and character C, character A and Darth Maul, character A and Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker and character A and Shmi Skywalker, Freemore, who's a character from Legends, and character C, Freemore / Mace Windu, background relationship. Additional tags. Character C and character A grow up as temple brats. Jedi, character A, Jedi, character C, hurt / comfort, angst, slavery, Tatooine culture, oblivious, character A. Character B has such a huge fucking crush on everyone, but, and everyone knows, but, character A. Rare pair. In this house, we shower Mace Windu with appreciation. Trauma, because of a location and Poopatine, not Palpatine. PTSD, character A-centric, alternate universe canon divergence, minor character death, ultimately a feel-good story, I promise. Fluff.
Okay, so there's 3 characters we have to guess. The first 2 are in a ship with each other.
I
And
mean,
then the last one.
honestly, character... you only have to figure out 2, the ones that are in the ship. The other one will just give away who character A is.
Okay, is one of them Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes, character B is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So it's character A and character B are together.
Yes.
So are the rest of the
a gay ship?
It is a gay ship.
Are the rest of the characters Jedi or like originally Jedi, or are they just Jedi in the fic?
They are Jedi in the fic.
A and C.
A and C are Jedi in the fic.
But are
they
they
weren't
force sensitive originally?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Ventress Maul?
Not Ventress or Maul.
So they were force sensitive, and they're. Does Obi-Wan know them in the real Star Wars?
Obi-Wan interacted with one of them in canon. And it's not the character that he's shipped with in this fic.
Is it someone he's usually the same age as? Or no?
I did not even think about that. I think in this fic they are the same age.
Wait, so does that mean they're in the Clone Wars?
Yes.
Is it? So this is someone who's not traditionally a Jedi.
Yes.
Is this Savage?
Savage Press is character C.
But not Maul?
Not Maul.
Is it Feral?
Feral Oppressed / Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's so interesting.
I'm like, you are so slay.
What was the tag you couldn't give away?
Oh, the tag I couldn't say are Maul and Feral are fucking twins, and you can't take this away from me.
Whoa. Oh.
Yeah. So, slay, the summary.
Wait, who is Savage shipped with?
Savage is not shipped with anyone.
Oh, okay.
He is just simply there. He is vibing, but also for some reason Anakin, Feral, and Shmi are all tagged together, like the and. So I'm like, interesting. I want to see
they're
where this
besties, I guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming basically the premise of this fic is, Savage. So Maul is taken away by Palpatine, and Savage is like, I am running the fuck away with my little brother, and they go to a Jedi temple and are raised as Jedi.
That's so slay.
Slay. The summary is, when Feral is young enough to remember the muggy heat of Dathomir, but not old enough to remember much more than that, Savage looks at him and thinks, I can't lose another brother. So Savage takes him and runs. AKA Savage never meant to be found by the Jedi, and certainly never meant to become one of them. Everything that follows is what Feral will forever call the will of the Force. Savage would call it Banthaship, but at least he gets his lost brother back.
This is the Sokka and Katara-ification of Feral
and
Savage.
I can't. Are you implying that Obi-Wan Kenobi is Aang?
Well, you saw him in the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's lifting
lifting the rocks and throwing them.
In a lot of ways, Vader is Ozai when you think about it.
I was thinking about that final fight because I was like, okay, Aang not killing Ozai, that's fine. Like, he was a kid, whatever. But I'm like, Obi-Wan, you're a whole adult. You should kill that bitch.
Thank you so much for joining us this week for RuPaul's Pod Race. Episodes usually drop on Sundays. Join us next week for our full Kenobi series discussion, and stay tuned afterwards for the fun things we have planned before Andor comes out. For updates, Star Wars news, and more curse shit, follow us on social media at RuPaul's Pod Race on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you want to ask us some questions, send them to us on our TikTok Q&A or email us at rupaulspodrace@gmail.com. And if you really love the show, please rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or Overcast. It means a lot to us. And remember, may the Force be with you. And don't kriff it up.
Waka waka.
Waka waka.
Hello
there.